Welcome back to the Glaze Studios oil painting tutorial. I'm Gomati Sivasankaran. We are working on Ardhanareeshwarar's painting, which is half man, half woman, complete definition of universe or universal energy, Shiva and Shakti, or masculine and feminine energy. Just a recap what we have been doing so far. We we started out planning, strategizing, understanding the canvas, filling in the first layer, uh, understanding references, and then mapping them to our canvas. Uh, Overall, defining the superstructure of the characters in the canvas, and then the last class was more into what we are currently going to be working on. So the last class was about filling blocking layer 2. So we continue on that journey with the layer 2 today as well. Yeah. We talked a lot about the colors that we will be using all along in the previous class. In case you have missed something, I would ask you to just go back to the previous class to be sure all the colors are available. We can find similar combinations also available. And I am going to right now get started with working on the some of the details. Yeah. Not into the meaning not going into the details, but some of the intricate areas, just like what we are going to do with the eye, the nose, and the lip, and also the hair color. So we are still going to stick to that layer 2 logic of doing it, you know on an overall level, not into the finest detail, but still, this is a very carefully to be done, very carefully. Yeah, section is to be done very carefully. Fair enough. All good. Fantastic. Yes. So let's now get started with that um, section. In the last class, I think I talked about all colors, but we did not talk about black. I have ivory black with me. And will I use the same color for the hair and eye? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to show you what I will do with the black. Yeah. So I take tiny, tiny bit of black here on my palette. That's it. Yeah. You see that black. And to that, I am going to add burnt umber. This is for the eye color, hair color of Shiva Shakti. And you would be wondering, why do you need to mix that? Um, the color as such, ivory black, is a beautiful color, but it looks totally deep black, and that isn't the hair color of black. Yeah. Um, it's not the hair color black. And for me, yeah, I'm able to see through that because I have my own color range, being of Indian origin. My own color range of my hair color, I can closely see that it's got that brownish tinge. It's not the totally deep lamp black or ivory black or Mars black. No. And yeah, coming back to the point of whether Shiva, Parvati, Shiva, Shakti are Indians? That's a good question. That's a debatable question. I have no clue. Uh, the origin of Shiva um, could be because from the Himalayas, uh, you know, from what we have learned from the Hindu literature and so on, it looks like he might not be exactly from India, that India that we know now. Yeah. And those days, those eons ago, the map of India, Hindustan was also totally different. So it might be slightly different. The skin colors and the tonalities might be slightly different. We do not know. None of them know. It's only, it's more of, who has drawn it and how we have seen these images all along. And possibly from what I have understood, it could be that, we are imagining more of the Indian face and Indian, origins for them. So that could also be a reason that I have seen such hair colors and tonalities, and eye colors and tonalities. It could be slightly different. You never know. So, from the point of view of someone who is lacking the knowledge and is just going by references, I'm going by the Indian references and trying to do the coloring as such. So, while talking, I have mixed these two, and you see that the color is still on the brownie side, but it's much more darker now, and it is in close relation to what you will see in some of those images from the references. Yeah, or at least from what we have gathered. Just to start with, instead of doing it directly in the eyes, I'm using the zero brush. I use the zero brush because it will be helpful to work on the eye area and so on. So I'm going to get started with the hair on on the top here. This is the hair that's built up into a knot on the top for Shiva. So I'm going to just fill that in here just to see how the color is working. Yeah. I think it looks fine. This looks fine. Yes. Good enough. I am ready to test this on the face now. So I'm going to do that on the eyebrows first. So if you see, I'm not doing anything different or new. I'm just repeating what I have in the drawing that I made previously. So filling in the eye and then doing the upper eyelid, layering ever so lightly the under eye as well. So if you see, it's almost the same. I haven't done anything different. I'm just filling them in. So I'm filling the hair, rest of the hair. Remember, we adjusted the ear, the eye, to be in alignment with the angular face structure that we had taken from another reference. So do the adjustments accordingly. Remember that. Fill that in properly. So it's a filling that we are doing, blocking that we are doing. I think I need the help of the reference. So there is one more element to it which I haven't touched at all during the previous sessions. It's the moon also comes here, but I'm not going to work on it right away. It's going to be pretty much the lighter tonality. I think I will set it up as when we are finalizing the top layer. We will always remember that. That's not a big deal. We will do that. So um coming back to the hair, I'm just looking at how the earring goes, just to make sure that I'm not damaging any part of that. There's also the snake and snake skin that we need to work on, which we will do later. So just to be sure that we are not filling out anything there. Right now we are just filling out these the hair strands, yeah. And some of it, remember, coming and falling on the shoulders as well. Yeah. So that's about the hair of Shiva. And right now I'm going back to Shakti, Parvati's hair. We don't see much of it because it's hidden beneath the crown that she is wearing. But of course, there is some strands that you can see coming onto the face and going behind her ear. And remember where there is some space for her earring. Yes, good. All right. I think we managed fine with this requirement right now. I'm going to use the same brush ever so lightly on some of the vermilion that I have remaining, and possibly add a little bit of the yellow ochre here. So I get a darker skin tonality. If you want to make it lighter, it is fine, but I think this is enough for me right now to work on the lip. Yeah. So it doesn't look like a perfect, lip color, but slightly on the darker side of a skin color. Yeah. And that is enough for me to work on the lip right now. And also the section of the nose. So I've just filled it in, doing nothing else. Fill it in, that's it. Enough. And while mixing colors, I noticed that when we mix the green with the yellow ochre, you get that kind of grayish green. And this color suits very well with what I wanted for the base color of the snake. So I'm going to move out of this brush, brush 0, and go back to the brush number that I used for the green. Yes. That is brush number 1. think I will use that. I still have that, the grayish blue kind of. This seems to be a nice color for me to work on for the base color of the snake. I'm going to fill it in because there is always, the front portion and the back of it. We'll work on the details later, but just for the sake of filling it in right now, we are just working on the filling. Yeah. So the filling is done, and over here also around his neck there is this, uh, you know, curl of the snake that you can see, but you will have to stop here, right in the middle, because this is the jewelry of Shakti. So we stop here. Yeah. Um, right now we are good to move back to ah, zero brush. But there's one thing that I missed. Right here in between the ring that he is wearing, the hair must be showing. So I did that. Mhm. Beautiful. I guess we are now ready to move on to a color coding that will work for the jewelry. We have some jewelry here that she's wearing on her hands, and for Shiva, there's no jewelry as such, but it's more of the Rudrakshamala. The good thing is that we can use this black as well for the blackish brown that we used for the Rudrakshamala. So that's one aspect. We are going to go to another brush. I have brush number 14 round that I will use for the yellow ochre. So I am going back to the yellow ochre now. So I will take a little more of the yellow ochre light because that helps in building a base for any jewelry. If the jewelry is based on gold color, it's good that you do a base with this yellow ochre as such. Yeah, I'm going to fill it in like this. Possibly, I think it comes like this. It's a little more towards here. I'm just blending it in. It's going to add with the color. It doesn't matter. Um, just to show that the space will be more of jewelry. Yeah. So I'm just adding that jewelry design on her earring, filling that in. Then let's come to the jewelry on her ankles. I'm going to move the camera slightly a tad bit below so you get to see the jewelry spacing here on her hips. I think we will add a little more of this color here on the hips right here. And also on her arm here, there are two arms. Remember that. I'm going to move this a tad bit up. The border of her clothing in her arm will have gold. Even the sari will have the golden effect. So I'm just pushing that here. And if you are wondering where exactly it is in terms of the row 5, D5 is where I am doing this around the curve where the curve comes to the thigh. That's exactly where the saris fold goes up, and that's the place usually where there is a border or a design or a pattern made out of gold or silver, depending upon what kind of sari a woman is wearing. That's one thing. And also, um, her sari's pallu will have a bit of gold and the edge. So I'm just pushing a little bit of the color, blending it with the previous color. It's okay as long as we are able to see the difference. That is fine. Yeah. And then also where her foot is, very close to the foot, there is a little bit of bordering or golden thing attached. So I think that was the basic about her clothing. One more bordering. Wherever the cloth hits a corner, there is a possibility of bordering. So I am able to do that because of my understanding about the clothing, the sari cloth, the cloth, the way it is. In case you are a little bit doubtful, you can always go and refer to the pictures. You will see that the borders are having some kind of golden corners to it, yeah, edges to it. That's exactly what I'm marking at this stage. I'm not going to go into the details, as I said earlier. It is just the basic that we are going to mark. And let's go back to doing gold on her crown. Filled gold on her crown as well. Yeah, that's one section. Yes, fantastic. I think we have managed with that. Right now, we are ready to go back to the Rudrakshamala designing. We don't need to go into the details of it, but just so that we are clear. Rudrakshamala is also a dark brown. It has so many colors. There's a lot about Rudrakshamala that I have said in one of the paintings that I made a couple of years ago. Um, I think it's Mahapariva's painting. In that, I have said a lot about it. And I'm mixing, what I'm doing is to that black and burnt umber that we mixed, I'm just mixing a little more of this remaining yellow ochre so that it comes slightly a tad bit down in terms of color. This is enough for me to work on um, the Rudrakshamala that's around his arms. I'm just making dots, okay? I'm not doing any details as of now. Not going to work on the details as of now. Just making dots. Yeah. The other arm also needs to have that, isn't it? How did I miss it? I'm doing that there. And then where else is he wearing? It's around his neck. It's really all along his neck. I'm just going to do it like dots, not going into the details as yet. Wow, he's wearing a lot of that. Good. And then I want to use this color to do the om also. I think I kind of missed its presence when I did the blue of his hand. Yeah. So I have done that. Okay. I guess we are now overall done with that. What else is missing? There's one more jewelry. He's wearing one on around his. There's an earring. Yeah. So I've done that. Fantastic. I think we are done with this part right now. We have managed to fill Shiva Shakti's superstructure. Now for the animals. Oh, I love this. I want to start with the lion. Why? It's simple. We've got the yellow ochre, the brown colors ready. So lazy me is thinking of not reusing or how to reuse the existing brush. So that's exactly why. Right now I'm going to move the camera around again. Okay. Let's put the line in the spotlight. Where did we pick up the reference from? It's this picture. Where did the reference from? Okay. Not going to worry about any of the details. We're just going to fill it in with the brown, with the yellow ochre, and the brown that we mixed. So nothing special about it. Whatever remaining color that you have, we are going to work on that. So it's if it is grayish brown, that's fine. Just fill it in, fill up space. Maybe lighten it up on the face if you want to just show the difference on it. I will add a little bit of white when I want to go and work on the face. But otherwise, yeah, I think I am fine with this color. It's, I think it's a blending of what I did earlier, all the blues, the burnt umber, black, whatever, everything is just getting mixed up here. But yeah, that's fine. I'm just making sure that everything is getting filled in here. Not working on the face as yet. I took a little more of the yellow ochre as I was just finishing up everything that was there in my palette. Yes. So that's about the hair around its face. I'm going to move to the body. Yes. Just go very close to Shakti's sari and yeah, body line so that you are filling it appropriately. Mhm. Now I'm working on his legs. Remember the way we put the legs, the paw. The technique that I'm using is just, I'm moving along the contours, but at the same time, I'm also making circular movements to make sure that it's all, getting filled in. The cloth is picking up more of this color. Yes, I'm ready for the face. So right now, um, what I'm going to do is that I'll add a tad bit of that white, lighten this up, lightening up the color a little bit, yeah. So that's okay. Um, that's a good color range for me to work on the face. Yes. And I will just fill in that space, leaving out the eye. And the nose and mouth, yeah. If you're wondering what is that on his forehead, it's just that you see we have this kumkum on his forehead, kumkum or bindi, um, that you see me wearing also. It's something that we put, and I'll explain the significance of it in another session. But for now, you can just imagine it as a red dot or a circle on the forehead that we manually put. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the brush 0. I haven't gone into the details of the eye of the animal, but I'm going to just use this darker color that we did, the brown, that way, the burnt umber mixed with black that we did, to just fill it in for now. Do that for the layering of the mouth, nose. Leave it at that, yeah. I'm pulling the color through in some places, just give an impression of it. It looks nice, isn't it? So it doesn't matter if you haven't done it, but I'm just doing it for the sake of seeing how things are. Just curious, that's it. Just using the darker tonalities to leave some impression in some places. Yeah. So that's how it is. I will use the same to draw his nails, on the paw. Going to move this up. So I get to see his paw and those nails, really, really sharp nails, huh? Big ones. Huh? Mm. Again, fill that in. No detailing as yet. Yeah, just fill it in. That's it. So we are ready to go on to the next animal. Let's see how are we doing with the time. We are fair enough. That's fair enough. Not that bad. This animal. Oh, that's a beauty. Cow. Hmm? So right now, because I already have this brush zero with that dark coloring that I have, I am going to go fill out the space. Again, not worrying about the detail, just filling out that space of the eye and the nose, mouth. Yeah, yes. Okay, fantastic. So now I'm going back to taking another fresh brush because I am going to take titanium white. But what happens when I use just titanium white? What will happen? Animals titanium white. This white. Do you agree? No, no, no. We will have to add a tad bit of yellow ochre to it. Going to mix a light bit of yellow ochre to the white that I took. So it's still on the whitey area, but it isn't pure white. Maybe from the camera point of view, you don't see much of a difference, but when you look closer to it in a painting, you will see that it isn't that kind of white, yeah, at all. So I'm going to fill that. So I'll do the animal's ear. Mhm. I could have done the horn already, isn't it? In that dark color that we have. Maybe I go back to taking the brush zero and doing the horn. Right. So I'm back with my brush number three. It's brush number three that I'm using for the white. And to the titanium white, I have added a tad bit of yellow ochre to make it not look totally white. Um, and I am filling in the spaces where you see the animal's body. Remember, there's also a lot of jewelry that the cow is wearing, unlike the cows that you might have done before. You're just amazed that this cow is wearing something. These animals are having some other things that they wouldn't naturally otherwise have. So it's just us. We celebrate these animals and we make them wear some nice jewelry or nice things around. Yeah. Yes. So the ear. Fair enough. And then the neck. Okay, good. So the hunch in the back and the body coming close to Shiva's body. Good. Gonna move this slightly a bit upward. Good. So we are ready to work on some more on the cow. I'm leaving the portion of it uncolored, the tridents line that is cutting across right here. So just so we remember, I just want to see that line appear there. Now I'm coming close to the leg of the animal. Yes, the other leg. All right, I'm going to move this slightly upward so you get to see. Now the heel. Again, I'm going back to zero brush with the darker color tonality for the heel. There you go. What is remaining is the jewelry that the cow is wearing. Yes, so let's do that. Moving back to the good old brush number 14, round, small, for the yellow ochre. So I'll fill that in here. Oopsie, yes. Fill that in here. Yes. And also around this space where there's possibly something, done in gold. And there's a beautiful neckline that he is wearing that could also be gold. Another one going towards the bell, my favorite. So I'm going to move this up. That's the line moving towards the bell and the bell. It's traditionally something that you will see these animals being adorned in. Yes. Okay, fantastic. I think we have filled in this as well. Okay, let's make a stop here and then we will assess what we have done. Where are we? Yes. So we are making a stop now here with this process, but then we will continue in the next class. We are still not done with the filling fully. But yeah, to summarize what we have done today, we continued on the path of filling or blocking, which is layer two, and we did a little bit of filling on the face area. Now that I come to the face area, I can see one important place that we might as well work on, which is the eye itself. I have a little bit of the white left over. I'm going to use the tip of the brush to do the sides of the iris with the slight white. Yeah. So done. Okay, done. So yeah, to come back and summarize, we continued on this layering, layer two, filling in the layers of hair color, face elements that are in the hair color, close to the hair color, and then we went on doing working on the animals. So we moved on to the bottom half of the picture where we have these beautiful animals. We did the snake as well, isn't it, on the top, and then we did the lion and also the cow. So they are looking pretty now. So we have filled that. What do we do in our next session? We have quite a bit also to cover. Small elements like the flower here, the trident and the damaru, or the drum, small little drum there, and then the cloth along with it. Once we are done with that, we might not work on the Ganga picture. Like I said, the moon, half moon, and Ganga, all will come as we build the layers. But we have to work on the background. We decided the background will be a sky with a mountain as background. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of lighter blue color that's coming up in the back. So we have quite a bit to cover in our next session, but possibly we will be done with the layering two of our painting in the next session. That is what we are going to target. I am so happy that you are coming this far and working very hard for this picture. I understand that so many elements to it, and some of them maybe is totally new to you because you haven't learned more about sculpture. That is perfectly all right. Try to follow the reference pictures and what are the common elements that they have. um, yeah, I could have done more jewelry on Shakti as well, which I haven't done, which possibly I'll look into that also in the next session when I check for the errors. But yeah, you keep a watch out for all these things, and yeah, in our next session we will try to cover whatever we have missed, elements that we have mixed, and certain elements that will really be useful to add. Yeah, and try to finish up our layer 2 in the next session. Yes, thank you very much for being there and following through. Congratulations on reaching this far, and be very patient with the work. If you need more time, take some more time to do it, and you will also reach there, maybe doing it much better than me. Yes, thank you very much. See you next class. Bye bye.